Alright guys, today we're going to teach you how to turn a regular photo that you might be working on, whether it's with a band, model, or whatever it might be, and turn it into an anaglyph that reacts to stage lighting or any type of party lights that may be up. So we're going to teach you how to make something exactly like this today.
1, 2, 3. Alright, 3, 2, 1.
Okay guys, so here we are. We're inside Photoshop. You do not have to use Photoshop for this. You can use GIMP. You can use your preferred tool to do these types of edits. There's nothing complex here. There's no fancy scripts or anything along those lines. So how do we get a anaglyph poster put together fairly rapidly? What I'll do is I will share this template as part of this YouTube video. I'm not sure where I'll upload to, probably like Google Drive or something. Add a link there so you guys can download it. It's pretty straightforward. What I did today, and I'll include some shots here of how I got this group actually set up, is I went on a photo shoot with the band Create Control, based out of Lakeland, Florida. Love this band. Absolutely check them out. I think they're going to be one of those like leading tours kind of situations pretty soon here. Their music is phenomenal. Every single band member is amazing. Their lead singer, Bob, is just one of the best singers I've ever heard come across any kind of like metal scene. But if you're into metalcore, absolutely check them out. Stop gushing about them now. But we did a photo shoot today with the goal of getting them they've got a new single that's coming out. So we were getting them some promo stuff, but I wanted to kind of continue to experiment with anaglyphs that I've been doing past couple days and just kind of see what we can actually pull off. So it's actually really easy to do these. Almost like I was kind of surprised at how quickly these came together. And the interesting thing is I actually figured out how to do these straight out of camera with a camera during a show. Actually a show on Friday evening. We had at the Barter Box here in Lakeland, we had a noise rave, noise fest. And it was just a bunch of people bringing in instruments, playing amazing music just across the board, just making some phenomenal noise. But we have some really great house lights there that kind of pulse between red, green, and blue. And I was, it was an experimental night of music, so I was doing some experimentation with my photography. I thought it kind of fit, definitely did. And so I set my shutter speed really, really low. Usually the lowest will go is 1/25th of a second, but I did 1/10 and 1/15th. And I started just doing these drag shots across the board of just getting shots of just things in motion. The other thing I do is I print all my photos out in real time. I have a little Canon selfie where I'll take any photo that I've done and I'll print it out. And so while the actual show is happening, while Noise Fest was happening, I was printing these photos out. The lights were still going off. I was holding my photos up to the light and like, holy cow, they're moving. Because what was happening is my shutter speed was low enough that in time with the lights changing between red, green, and blue, by the time that photo had shifted in position, the initial shot was green, the secondary portion of it was red, and the end of it was blue. And so what was happening is anytime I'd hold up the photo to the light and it was shifting between these colors, the photo itself was looking as if it was moving. And it was kind of a revelation for me. This is actually surprisingly easy, at least for the basic stuff that I'm kind of doing here. What we need to do is we need to set up a handful of layers. What you're doing for any different anaglyph, let's just take this one as an example. Let's say that we're going to just turn this into an anaglyph. So I'm going to double click my background here just to turn it off from being a black background. We're going to rename this one blue layer. We'll duplicate it a couple of times. We'll call it green layer. And then we'll duplicate it again. And we're going to call it red layer. All right. So for each of your layers that you're wanting to actually turn into an anaglyph, those three colors are really critical. Your blue layer, when you're using 3D glasses, will be the furthest away object that is in your visible spectrum. The green layer is kind of a middle or flat layer. It's kind of where the paper would normally be. And the red layer is the layer that will pop out at you the most. It will kind of lift off the paper. And so that's kind of important when you're setting these up. If we go back to my create control example, you can see that our person in the back here is blue, so that we want them to be furthest away. The middle crew is green, and the front crew is red, so they'll be popping off. And we'll get kind of like them jumping off of this paper kind of feel. On each of your layers, you're going to right click. And again, this is in Photoshop, but you can do the exact same thing in GIMP. Right click, blending options. And for your blue layer, you're going to turn off under advanced blending the red and green layers. You're going to go to your green layer, right click, blending options. We're going to get rid of our red and blue layer. And for our red layer, right click, blending options. We're going to get rid of the green and blue layer. Now, in this particular example, this is the exact same photo 3 times, so you can't see anything here, but I'm going to show you what this actually does and how a lot of anaglyphs are actually done just by taking a single photo and shifting things left or right. I'm going to select this. I'm going to hit V to get my selection tool. I'm going to hold Shift. I'm going to hit my left arrow 3 times. I'm going to go to my blue layer. I'm going to hit V on my blue layer. I'm going to hold Shift. I'm going to hit right 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And as you can kind of see here, haha, now we've got this really cool kind of 3D effect here that's across the board. We can also create some layers to kind of mimic what this will look like when red, green, and blue light is hitting this, or you're wearing 3D glasses. So let's go ahead and create that. We're going to create 3 more layers. We're going to, just like before, call them red, green, and blue. So red, green, blue. We are going to go over into our fill, so that's G. Go to the blue layer. We're going to have our color be straight 255 blue. So 0000FF, just pure blue. I'm going to just paste that in, fill that in. We're going to go our green layer. We're going to go back to our colors. We're going to do 255 green. So again, pure green. We're going to fill that in. We're going to go to our red, and you can guess it. We're going to go 255 red, and we are going to fill that in. And then what this will do here in just a second is it's going to give us the opportunity to actually see what each of these layers look like under different lights or potentially as 3D. So yet again, we need to right click this. We're going to go to blending options. We're going to go from blend mode down to overlay. Going to do it again for green, every single one of these. Blending options, blend mode, overlay. Again with blue, right click, blending options, blend mode, overlay. Cool. So now we can see all 3 of them are on. What we want to only have on is one of them at a time. So what we're going to also do here is we're going to create a layer just so you guys can kind of see what this movement looks like. But the concept is the same here if we had used 3 different images as well. But let's go ahead and do this. We're going to create a timeline. So if you don't know how to go, how do you see your timeline? Go to Window at the top, click on Timeline. It's going to pop up down here at the bottom of your screen. You're going to click this little down arrow and make sure that you have Create Frame Animation selected. We are going to create a frame animation by clicking on that button, and that creates our first frame. In our first frame, we're going to just have this red layer enabled. We're going to set this to 0.2 seconds. We're going to click this plus button, and that creates our second frame. We're going to go back up, disable red, enable green, click our plus button, third layer, disable green, turn on blue, and then we're going to click play. So it's pretty subtle, but you can see that the people are actually shifting around, and Evan's doing like a little head wiggle here. But we can actually make this more pronounced if we wanted to, but that's really kind of the general idea. We're just trying to get a little bit of motion here or 3D. If you put on 3D glasses and you see this, they will actually be popping off the screen just a little bit. So that's it. That's how you make an anaglyph. It's really, really simple. And that's the exact same thing. Let me stop this before I go crazy. It's the exact same thing I did over here. In this one, I actually kept a solid background. I isolated each of my individuals in my group. So I isolated my blue layer individual, my green layer individuals, my red layer individuals, and then I gave a solid background. The solid background is there just to kind of give them a little bit of consistency across each of the flashes of light. And so the reason that this works is that this solid background is actually red, green, and blue enabled at the same time. Technically, I could have left the fills in, the actual portions in for each of them, but having this solid layer acts as a decent baseline. So that's it. I just stacked these, and then I could show you guys the same here. Create two more. We'll set them to 0.2 seconds. And what you should see is the exact same thing I showed at the beginning of this video. Is the same kind of look and feel of what the actual print was. And what you saw at the beginning of this video was an actual working print that I printed off my Canon printer. And yeah, it looks exactly like this. So this is a great way to test out what your anaglyph is going to look like prior to you investing in printing it out. But that's it, guys. It's really simple to do. It's actually pretty fun to actually see it in motion when you're actually have your light set up, or you're at a shop or whatever. But yeah, the next thing that we're gonna probably end up working on picking up is lenticulars. I'm really excited about giving that a go. I think it'd be really cool to actually, beyond the lights, have an actual lenticular. I loved lenticulars when I was a kid. I'm actually staring at one right now. It's up on my bookshelf. I would love to be able to create my own. A little pricey, very pricey, but we're going to give it a go. So keep your eyes peeled for that tutorial, hopefully here in next week or so. All right, thanks everyone.